Well, back to Ballers. Mm-hmm. So, how did we get here?
Yeah, so...
How did we get to the Ballers?
Because you was like the transition. How do we get on Ballers? So the transition, so I was always writing. Then when that happened on Twitter, because I had like little like community on Twitter. We'd be like passing ideas back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, rocking. I used to be speaking about Islam and Muslim and all of that stuff. Like we'd be on like having conversations on there. Then that kind of matured and grew up to like the Huffington Post. Mm. And then when I retired, that was kind of the big thing. When I was going to retire, my agent was like, all right, what do you want to do? You want a press conference? I was like, no, I'm gonna write about it. And that's when I wrote like why I retired at 26. Mm-hmm. And that piece kind of like really blew up and went to all these places. And that was the same time where Ballers and HBO, they had just shot their pilot and they had just got it picked up by HBO. So they were in the form of putting their writers team together to go into their season, going to making the show. And while it happened, Why I Retired was written. And then the showrunner, like the leader of the show, head writer, not the creator, but the head writer, he went to the creator, Evan Riley. He was like, yo, man, have you seen this piece by this football player? Check this out.
We gotta get
Gave it to Steven Levinson and was like, yo, you ready? He's like, yeah, I like him. I like that. Let's bring him in. So I had a few phone conversations, did some interviews. They like had me like mock write up some script. Then they said it was like down to me and some other they said like an established like Hollywood writer. They said it was down to me and them. I don't know if that was a real person that made up. But they still had me on the chase. And then it was like, we gonna rock with you. They brought me in 3-week contract. Yeah. And in that time, it was like, you're pretty good at this. Stick with us. And then I was been there for the whole time. So it was five seasons, 6 total years. Yeah. From 2014 to 2019. I had hands on every single episode made.
That's live.
Great show.
Fire. Great show.
Live, right? I'm a fan. I might not be a big fan of Sweet.
I'm a fan.
I bought with him.
I'm a fan. I gotta ask.
I'm glad they brought somebody that actually played.
Yeah.
Real life.
Outside of just The Rock, but like somebody that guys that played actually in on the actual creative process, not just like the acting part, but actual
the
writing and creating side.
And I'll tell you this, I'd hate to see what it would have looked like if I wasn't there. Because I was there, I'm like, damn, y'all for real?
Talk your shit,
man. So so thankfully, man, together we worked.
Who's your favorite character?
Man, that's tough. It's like it's hard for me because it's like not the character. It's hard for me to look past John David Washington. He got so much zeal, man. He got so much zest. He got so much on him.
Ricky Jared.
Yeah, Ricky Jared. And it's like, man, I'm like, because Ricky be wilding, but I'm like, we ain't give enough like context of why he was off the rails or what was really driving him. And that's where I feel like
him, maybe like his dad's dynamic family. Like
there's like a lot we have him going because that's that like because the thing we were saying in the room is Sunday night comedy. So whenever shit got too deep, got too thick, got too real, it's like, yo, it's still Sunday night. It's a comedy, or they call it a dramedy. It's 30 minutes. It's still got to be light at the end of the day.
Right.
You can't have people too like bogged down in anything. So it's like, man, whenever we get right on the cusp, but like, where it feel like going there, it's just like, and it was like, so the kind of entertainment run out. So it's a like kind of fast, fun, like poppy show.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, there's those elements. I know as players, we want to see more. And to be real, kind of low key, we in the talks of bringing the film. So like 5 seasons of that film coming back. I'm speaking with the creator to be like, all right, what we weren't able to do in the comedy, we can be able to do in this film and add that element and that level of dramatic. Where
Sweet said, bro, can I get a ticket to the parade for real?
No, real life. When that time comes, nigga, the Raw Room, y'all there.
For real.
For real, straight up, because we said when. So the Raw Room, y'all there. When that's happening, because I promise you, and I mean this shit, I'm saying this, when the film comes out and you guys are there, I want y'all to tell me if you feel it.
Okay.
If y'all feel it, then we did our thing. If you guys really feel it, then we did it. If not, then slap the shit out of me. If not, this say no, nigga, you playing.
Okay,
you
man.
Yeah, we there.
How much like real life did you write? So for instance, my favorite character, I feel like my favorite character development story is probably Reggie.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like seeing Reggie,
I feel you.
He, like so right now, like
guy next
I think
to the guy.
Season 3, you see him
and Reggie's maturation.
Yeah, you see him with like button downs and slacks. Like he was just like doing his thing, bro. So like, was that some of the stuff that you probably experienced having a homie or
absolutely? So that's the conversations and the stories in the room. Yeah, and shout out to T Suggs. Terrell Suggs was in the first part early in the show.
Yeah, he was.
Not just in the show, he was part of the writing development process early on.
I remember hearing about
season 1. Yeah, so he was in there for a little bit. He has his film and production company.
Yep.
Nice. I think it's T Sizzle Productions. I believe.
Nice.
So he's a part of it too. But in the room is probably like a collection of 7 to 9 writers, maybe like 12, 13 when you incorporate like script coordinator, like editors, just other people in the room.
Right. Yeah.
So in that room, we're having conversations. It's collaborative. The whole show is collaborative. Like we're having conversations all the time. Different things come up in the world, in the sports world, and we'll speak about it to land on certain things. Now, who obviously has the most driving power is the creator of the show, Stephen Levinson, like the show's creator, the head man, where it's like, all right, it's going to land on, you know what I'm saying, his name. He's the one that did Entourage as well. And they say the same makers of Entourage.
Okay.
Him and Rob Rice. You have Rob Rice, like the vet writers in the room. So it's like, we in this room, we speak and we building it, and everybody's given the opportunity to have these pitches. And then we land on I appreciate it. On certain scenes, certain courses for characters, certain tracks in those certain moments.
Gotcha.
And then there may just be in a room chilling and somebody tell a story like a crazy. I told them when my rookie year how like when I wasn't, because you know the first round pick, you got to bring donuts, Krispy Kreme donuts for the team. Yeah, for the away game every time. But I wasn't at first.
Popeyes food for the plane.
Oh no, it was Popeyes on Saturdays and the Krispy Kremes as well. The positions would bring the Popeyes.
Okay.
And then the first round I had to bring the whole donuts.
The donuts was for like the meetings of the day we don't do nothing. It's like walkthrough day. You gotta bring donuts for that day.
Exactly.
And then the Popeyes is for the plane.
Exactly. That meal.
Yes, sir.
And so when I wasn't coming in, I'm just like, damn, do I wake up? I didn't know how serious it was.
No, they was.
Do I wake up just to bring Krispy Kremes and go home?
Hey,
that don't even make sense.
You better pull up. If you can't carry this shit.
That's what niggas is counting
on.
I didn't know that. That's really what cast.
I was on IR the same year. I had to get up Saturday morning.
Yep.
Popeyes, that better be on the plane.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Look, if you
I'm kind of like, it's a million cats at the stadium.
Right.
Somebody,
bro, if you in a wheelchair or you on crutches, you better have somebody with you holding the shit.
Yes, holding the shit.
Your little brother better be bringing that shit.
Drop it off, get somebody to drop it off.
Exactly.
It better be there.
It better be there.
So I learned that it was that real, and that in that moment where in the episode where Ricky Jarrett and Alonzo Cooley are going at it, and he wanted the number and everything. When he went into the cold tub, he put his Jordans in there. He was like, "Oh, you got my cold tub."
That was crazy.
That's what happened to me. I didn't bring
for real.
I didn't bring the donut.
It's real
so
life.
they put my stuff in the cold tub, and they was like, "Rookie, make sure you got this." And I was like, "Ha ha, whatever." That was my walkthrough, like
hazing type shit.
But then we went to the walkthrough. Did the whole thing. When I got back into my locker, they didn't do my football clothes. They had my real clothes, my street clothes.
They don't do your football stuff. They do what you wore.
So they put my football stuff first and then put my real clothes in the cold tub after I thought it was over. I'm like, damn, so y'all really...
Normally they don't even do football stuff. They wait till you change, you get dressed.
Yeah.
And what you wore to the facility, your regular street clothes, that's what goes in the cold tub.
Yeah. So I
didn't know that. Your football stuff don't go in the cold tub. Like this, what you got on now, if that's what you wore to work and you changed in the locker room, all that's going in the cold tub.
Hey, don't try to be fucking quick and put your shit on. They gonna toss your ass in that bitch too. They're fucking around.
No, you can't get around it.
Goddamn donuts better be there.
So I thought it was over. They did me. I'm like, damn. But I was like, who did that? I was kind of like, I felt like that was, but
nigga, they gonna be like. But
so I told that story, and they were like, oh, that's crazy.
We gotta put that in
the show. Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. That's
crazy because that's a real life. That happens.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But I can talk about the show all day long, but I ain't gonna bore everybody with it. But
I'm gonna ask you a question.
No, you did.
He was here. Ask him. Yeah, no, sweet. Go ahead. He right.
Good stuff.
So 1, 2, 3. I feel like I've asked this question before, but was this in the writing room, like that real come to Jesus moment?
Okay.
Like I'm talking about Ricky again when he got down on his knees.
Yeah,
this is episode 1.
Episode 1, early on.
Early on. And like, he was like, oh shit, I gotta get on my knees. So like, was that a moment for y'all?
So
like, I gotta get my shit together.
Yeah, so it's episode 1. So that's early in that character development. And it was always written in very early on that Ricky would be like very spiritual, like man, individual. Very like, and almost a little bit like over spiritual. And I feel like as the show goes on, you don't see that as much as it was, but that was part of his character.
He's supposed to be spiritual?
No, I know. What? To where it's like, that's what I'm saying. But so early on where he's like, man, and it's kind of like that Ricky Jarrett pull. Is he really into God, or is he selfish enough to be like, man, I done fucked up again. God, I really need you right now. He was like, I don't want Green Bay to cut me. I'm not trying to end up somewhere else. So we got on his knees and it still happened and it still went down. But that's those things where it's like as the show's beginning, as it's starting, and then as the room's going and the conversations, where it's like some things kind of stick and you get more into, kind of like Spencer and his pills and that problem and shit. What he's trying to And then other things kind of like Ricky and his and his religion kind of like Wayne's that go up and down.
I got you. How y'all who was in the room? Who was in the room where y'all thought about doing the VR porn? Remember that?
Yeah, that's funny.
That's man.
The episode turned on, right? I'm watching it, big screen. And my wife, she walk up. And the only thing you see at the time, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
She thinks she watched what it looked like. It's
not what it looked like.
It ain't that. I
thought this was Ballers. I thought it was Ballers. It's not.
So that's one of those moments where the characters kind of take off. That's such a Rob Corddry thing.
He hilarious,
that plays
bro.
Joe.
He's funny.
That meant so much for him. That's some shit that I feel like, that feel like it just really happened and that was him. I don't even remember the day when we in the room, like speaking about that because I was like, man, Corddry, that's one of those things where like our actor, like Corddry, would kill this shit right now.
Yeah. He went crazy.
He's funny as shit.
It went hilarious the whole episode. So were like you involved in casting and all, or like you were just writing, other characters coming in.
So it's kind of like any team. As you brought in for your position, for your role, as you're in the team, your role either kind of like grows and blossoms, or it kind of like narrows out. So as I was brought in as a writer, but throughout the time, like 5 years, 6 years, you start growing. I've spent the last 2 seasons, 3 years as producer, co-producer, supervising producer. And as you're like getting into the development of the show and you know what's going on more, then they start calling you to ask, like, there's a couple for the Piss Man. That's where it was like they was trying to find out like when Vernon had to pee in the cup.
Oh yeah,
and they was him and Reggie was promoting the weed company. So they like Spencer said you can't piss. Everybody involved was kind of like, well, what does a piss man look like? What would he move? So for the casting, I was brought in to kind of help.
Of picking a piss man. He like some random,
a little weird ass
random.
Yeah,
who wants to collect piss?
Man, you look at dogs all day.
Who wants to do
they
that?
Weird. Some of them be good dudes, but they also be weird. They be weird as fuck. Cause like, why you handling piss?
Like for real.
So
as it goes on,
like. Why?
How do you get into this line of work?
Tell me how much they pay. That shit might make sense.
How do you get into this line of work, bro?
Yeah. So you kind of develop a role in it, and you kind of
Vernon was dope too. His whole character development throughout the whole thing was fire, bro. All right, so
this is a good show, man.
It's fire.
Well, can we get in the movie?
Hey, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Because at the show,
cameo.
Hey, no, real life.
Ricky and what's his name? Ricky
real life. So here's how it works.
Started a podcast, so
real life.
It's like a rival little podcast. You know what I mean? We could.
Yeah, we got to get the wrong room. We got to get the wrong room in the movie.
Be in the movie. Get us in the movie.
Hey, I got you. See what I can do.
Okay.
We'll pull up.
See what I can do.
Get us in the movie.
Hey, most stuff.
We'll be a rival pod to him. You know what I mean? Talk some shit.
Go crazy,
Most
fire, man.
All right, so
most stuff.
What did you got? Bro?